A roll of drums heralds
1962.
and our flag is raised.
Uganda attains independence. A country with enormous resources and significant rural population. From the start, USAID focused on the country's potential as the breadbasket of East Africa. This was 1 year after President John F. Kennedy signed the U.S. foreign assistance legislation that mandated the creation of USAID.
We wanted to demonstrate our alliance with these newly independent states, and clearly Uganda was one of them.
With a modest budget of $3.6 million, USAID invested its first 10 years in Uganda on agriculture and education. The agency set up extension services, supported research, and sponsored students to American universities to learn modern methods of farming. USAID's education program was founded in the belief that with significant political, social, and economic change, people needed to learn and grow. There was also a need to professionalize the education system to address the changes.
Education, health, and agriculture are the benchmarks of our programs.
Tororo Girls' School, a reputed school that USAID built in 1963, modeled after the American approach to education. USAID broadened the curriculum and trained teachers. Former Minister of Education Geraldine Namirembe Bitamazire was the first Ugandan headmistress at Tororo and a beneficiary of USAID training.
That training was very useful because when we came back from America, we had internalized the objectives and practice of a diversified curriculum.
USAID's commitment to innovation and knowledge sharing is strong even today. The agency is supporting the Ministry of Education to focus on special needs education by training teachers in novel techniques and ensuring children with disabilities study in the same classrooms with other pupils.
All these USAID supported training programs, we make sure that we are not training for special schools. We are training for all schools.
In 1971, following Idi Amin's military coup and the subsequent internal instability in Uganda, USAID suspended programs in the country. When USAID returned to Uganda in 1981, it found the country severely weakened with industries in disarray. The next 6 years was challenging for USAID because Uganda remained unstable. In 1986, President Yoweri Museveni ushered in an era of relative stability in Uganda. USAID transitioned from emergency relief to long-term development. Again, the focus was agriculture. USAID took advantage of the agricultural institutions and teamed up with Makerere University to fund its research facility in Namulonge. The hybrid sunflower seed was one of the innovations in agriculture that was devised at this facility.
We worked with the National Agricultural Research Organization, USAID, and we had a new variety, hybrid variety, released into the country.
It is the month of July. Kapchora commercial farmers gather in a field to harvest maize. Under their umbrella organization, the farmers have received training in good farming practices from USAID. With the increase in production of maize, USAID stepped in to build a modern post-harvest handling facility.
It is 90% USAID, 10% the contribution of the organization. It will dry, it will clean, it will sort, and it will be ready for market. The challenge now to the members is to produce.
Majority of smallholder farmers in Uganda are women. Helen Elongat is a farmer in Lango, northern Uganda. She is the founder and executive director of Northeast Chili Producers Association, comprising small-scale women chili farmers. She has mobilized more than 340 groups of women from 10,000 households.
This is a women's group, purely women's group, and they are doing this in order to economically empower them.
With support from USAID projects, the association has set up 15 learning technology adaptation centers like this one for bananas and coffee in Lira. The innovation here is tapping the benefits of intercropping.
So the technology here is we are really trying to increase the output and maximize the use of the available land resource.
To improve the post-harvest handling of chilies, USAID helped build 6 bulking centers.
From the output, so far I have 4 graduates, my children, who are graduated, and they are now all working.
Uganda diversified its exports from traditional coffee, cotton, and tea to non-traditional crops. The flower industry blossomed as USAID focused its attention to increase exports from this sector. The agency built a cold storage unit at Entebbe International Airport to allow flowers to remain fresh before they were flown out to Europe. To ensure continued growth, Uganda embraced democratic principles. USAID supported the Ugandan government to decentralize power and decision-making. The agency has continued to strengthen the capacity of local councils and civil society organizations.
In the past, you could hear a councillor say, for us, we have decided. Whether it is wrong or right, legal or illegal, we don't want it. But at the end of the training, this has slowly gone off.
I think USAID has done the best. Otherwise, I would not be a speaker. Because it was said, when they came in, that is when I picked the courage to stand also as a speaker.
USAID has actively engaged with young people to make their voices heard. By training and empowering them with new technology and tools, the agency is promoting a more participatory style of governance.
The USAID training has been very, very critical. Aspects of demanding for accountability, aspects of allowing young people to participate in the broad-based governance system.
At the peak of the HIV/AIDS pandemic, USAID funded programs focused on testing, research, and database development, and later expanded its programs to include counseling and care. In 1987, the AIDS support organization TASO spearheaded the response to HIV/AIDS by supporting people infected with the virus and raising awareness of the pandemic. USAID fully supported the organization.
So the initial efforts of both the government of Uganda and all its development partners, including USAID, were to strengthen prevention of HIV, care and support.
USAID also bolstered the management capacity of TASO. This support has significantly contributed to TASO's recognition as a world-class model in the rest of Africa.
USAID has developed us from a small CBO into a big international organization.
The vigorous campaign against HIV/AIDS, combined with strong political will, helped to reduce HIV prevalence in Uganda, which reached 30% in the 90s to 6% today. Although AIDS still exacts a huge toll on Ugandans, a lot more people have access to free antiretroviral treatment. At Bobby Health Center 3 in Gulu, people living with HIV wait for their turn to receive life-extending drugs. Robert and Susan are among those enrolled at the clinic. This morning, they are here to receive their supply of drugs. Access to treatment has transformed their lives.
My husband was about to die. After testing our CD4s, then they started giving us HRVs. Now our body is now developing.
More women are receiving advice and medication that significantly reduce the risk of mother-to-child transmission of HIV.
We have seen a drastic reduction in the children that are born positive.
An integral part of USAID development efforts is research and technology to save lives. By establishing a laboratory at the Bobby Clinic, many Ugandans are able to get tested for malaria, TB and HIV without having to travel long distances.
We have helped health workers to improve care, to be more exact in the type of treatment they provide, and therefore there is less wastage of drugs.
At the turn of the millennium, USAID's health programs included anti-malaria initiatives to reduce the risk of maternal and child mortality. At Mukono North Health Center 4 in central Uganda, distribution of mosquito bed nets to pregnant mothers is underway. USAID has distributed tens of thousands of insecticide-treated bed nets to its clients. Another anti-malaria initiative that has shown effective results is indoor residual spraying. USAID and the Ministry of Health are jointly conducting the spraying exercise with safe insecticides in highly malaria-prone congested communities. The innovative use of bicycles has helped USAID to reach more people in less time. Anje Betty lives in Alokulum village, Gulu district, with her husband and 8 children. Today, the team is in her village.
Ever since they have sprayed, there's few cases of malaria. I think it was only once.
USAID was an early proponent of voluntary family planning and counseling women to exercise their reproductive rights. Kamuga Salongo is a member of the village health team in Kapeka sub-county, Nakaseke district. He received USAID training in community mobilization and proper delivery of family planning services.
USAID njebaza nnyo okusindika ate abo abasomesa abaatusomesa okujja ate naffe ne tujja tusomesa abantu baffe.
During the long war with rebels in northern Uganda from 1986 to 2007, more than 1.8 million people languished in 200 camps. USAID provided emergency assistance through Food for Peace and the Office of the U.S. Foreign Disaster Assistance amid difficult and dangerous conditions. Since 2007, all internally displaced people have returned to their homes and blended into their communities. For the war-affected children and unemployed youth, USAID has offered tools and training to gain better access to income-generating activities. Moving forward, USAID wants to create conditions where American assistance is no longer needed, replaced over time by efficient local governments, thriving civil societies, and vibrant economy.
My life is a story to tell. I started way back 27 years ago, and I'm aware USAID has been in Uganda for the last 50 years. For my own life, it is 16 years. By then, I was staying in this house, and because of the trainings, the business I've been doing in my farm, I was able to transform my life, and I now moved to this one. All this I attribute to American government. We really thank them, because if they were not there to train us, I don't think the level I am today I would be speaking here.